Allow the children
It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Ayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Ayegun diary, Ayegun number one.
Hello there.
Ayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Ayegun diary, Ayegun number one.
Ayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ aráyé.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Ayegun diary, Ayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú.
Share this broadcast.
Ayegun diary, Ayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí.
Ayegun diary.
Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today.
Diary, Ayegun number one.
Mayegun diary politico.
Ayegun diary, Ayegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Ayegun diary, Ayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Read the caption of this broadcast. Like I said, read the description as well. Invite your friends and not so friendly friends as well. Tell them that Mayegun is live.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Presido bá rúfin o. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù.
That is right. You know, there is a story of people who have been victims of fraudsters in the past. I'm going to share that with you tonight.
Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé.
Motide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. And if you have read the caption of the broadcast as advised, and you have also shared, please like the broadcasts. That is your own offering. I bet you probably have been sort of hearing some of what I'm about to discuss tonight for those who have been following the development back in Nigeria and those who are in Nigeria too. Tinubu presented a budget of 27.5 trillion naira. And since the presentation, no one outside their circle has been able to have access to line by line proposal that Tinubu submitted. Now, one of the lawmakers now told the BBC Hausa Radio that to their own surprise, the box that looked heavy that Tinubu presented and picture was taken was actually an empty box. But just a few hours after that, another member of that same, who happened to be a member of their circle, now said, what is the big deal there? That he presented empty box. That he already sent a flash drive to the leadership of the National Assembly. So if the leadership hasn't sort of copy all the members who are expected to have their input in discussing the proposal before finally passing it. So they just went for the guy. Like they are just troublemaker. What is the big deal if Tinubu presented empty box? Now, empty box simply means empty promises. Now, just again, to prove to you again, among other things that you are probably aware of now, that if you are one of those who are building expectations on the lies that these rogues have been telling you, or they are still telling you, even if your brain don't liquidate, even if they don't use you, and you have a chance of tuning in to listen to Mayegun, isn't that enough for you to begin to actually have a rethink over your life and your choices, the choices you make in life? Okay, we'll get to that part. From presenting empty box as a budget to flying 1,400 people into Dubai just to go and discuss climate change. Now, just before we get into that, let me tell you something. I am somebody who is not against, the campaign, the climate change campaign. But at the same time, I am not also ignorant of the hypocrisy behind those who are the countries that are funding the campaign. In Nigeria, Nigeria is a country that could barely generate 5,000 megawatt electricity, talk less of distributing the same. They could barely transmit 3,000 megawatt of electricity in a country of 200 million people. Industries, they are folding up almost on a daily basis. Year in, year out, the policies of the criminals in government is not to industrialize. And climate change is simply about the carbon emission. Here you get all those, your generator, your cars, your factories, and all those things they are emitting. But when you look at the countries that are funding this, and you look at the rate of their own emission, and you look at the entire Africa put together, and the emission coming out of Africa, you will see the hypocrisy of the African politicians. And then you see the hypocrisy of the Western world funding it. And why a lot of people kind of see it as, it's one of those elite toy projects. So they want Africans to stop burning firewoods. Okay? They want Africans to stop using petrols and diesel because, here you get. Meanwhile, this Nigeria that used to be at least industrialized because of epileptic power supply, a lot of businesses, a lot of factories have folded up and left Nigeria. So if you are now a country that is contributing nearly 0% emission to the global supposed crisis, and you are also a poor country whose people are going through, then they go through them right now. UAE, they put a visa ban on Nigerians. And not until now, a lot of us didn't know that the visa ban actually affects those who are living high lives. I'm talking about those who kind of appear to be doing well in Nigeria. Visa ban to Dubai has become something like a luxury. But Tinubu and his gang, they were able to move in 1,410. 590 of those were paid for, including their hotels, their food. They were paid for. Code, that means the dollar, they will pay them daily for being a delegate of the federal government of president. They pay them $600 every day. And if they spend 5 days, that is $3,000 just to get a free flight, free 5-star hotel, free ride, and maybe some free shoppings, and 3,000 US dollars. Now multiply 3,000 US dollars. This is the smallest they pay. People like Tinubu is paid code of $2,500 a day. Yes, Tinubu, everywhere he goes. Officially, they have to pay him. And everybody that is in his entourage, from category to category, they get paid every day. It's not free. That is what is taking your forex. That is where your forex, your dollars exchange and the rest of, that's where they go to. They don't go to the hands of business people. The people that are really going to use the money for businesses, improve your economy. When they wanted it, they don't have access to them. But you see these politicians and their trips, That's exactly where your money goes to. And those are the official ones. Oh, $300, $600. Multiply that by 590. Then begin to calculate their transportation, the logistics. That money is not for them to pay for their own hotel. Oh. The money is just to say you are also part of the team. We are take. In a country that is begging everyone to come and either borrow them money or invest in Nigeria, 590. Tinubu's family, his children, their own wives, some of their children, their girlfriends, business associates, friends, uncles, cut across boards, ministries, state governors too. A lot of them are in Dubai enjoying even Toke Makinwa. You know Toke Makinwa? You don't? Oh, well. Somebody's asking me who is Toke Makinwa. Well, I just know that there's a Toke Makinwa. She, what do you call it? She's Instagram celebrity and reality TV. But I don't know. Anyway, Toke Makinwa was there too. She's there too. And as they are saying, we are all building networks. We are building connections on the bill of the Nigerians who are waiting for Tinubu's magic. I'll show you something. See this. I'm going to try and see if I can get it bigger. But if it is not bigger, we'll just leave it at that, okay? I'll just scroll through. Those are the parties that Tinubu paid for. All right? Now, I'm going to see if I can enlarge it. But if I can't, it's okay. You could probably see my mouse moving on the screen. So if you follow that, it's so tiny and all that, right? Now, here, if you start from 15,218, that's where Nigeria starts from. And this is where Koolu is. Okay? So if you begin to go from there, you will see the names like Salisu Muhammad Dahiru, Director General, Balarabe Lawal, Minister, Telomon Joseph, Minister, Simon Bakola Long, Minister, Yusuf Maitama, Minister, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, Minister, Ishaq Adekunle Adeboye Salako, Minister. Then under it, you see Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff, Betta Edu, Minister, Adebayo Olawale, Minister. Right? Then you have another one under like that, Minister Adelabu. Yeah. Then you have Musa Musawa, Minister, like Minister. Then you go to a stage, you get Mr. Gilbert Ramez Chagoury, confidant of Mr. President. Do you all remember Chagoury Chagoury? The indicted money launderers that were even accused of funding terrorism in Nigeria. Chagoury Chagoury. Well. That is the confidant of Tinubu, and you should know better. Then when you continue to see the Attorney General, Lateef Fagbemi, that was Tinubu's lawyer during the presidential tribunal case. Then you see minister. Then when you continue, you see where Seyi and the rest. Well, hang on. I don't know if you can still see that on your screen enough. It could be really small and all that. So 590. See that? Those are the people they took to go and talk about climate change. It's just too tiny. Too tiny that I don't want to waste much time on it anyway. So yeah, we'll go on from here. See? Nigeria. 590. Now, if you now see the party overflow, this is where those who were like on another side. Let's see if I can get down the screen. Those who are on the other side, right, who are also from Nigeria. When you look at that, yeah, you see your governors, Obaseki, Bago Muhammad, Obasani, Diko, and all of those, right, from their states. They also went with their own commissioners, head of this, head of that. All of this paid for. You see these ones? This is the rest that makes it 1,410 people. To go and talk about climate change, whether the Antarctic sea, the ice is melting or the ice is not forming well. Climate change, while the Sahel desert has no water and the terrorists are moving down to Nigeria and all of that stuff. These are the people who they went with. Yeah? Sorry, I've jumped to Norway. Okay, I just kept strolling. Anyway, there you have it. And the real thing, where they go on, is this. May I show you? Toke Makinwa took us on a tour, okay, to let us see how, you know what I mean, how the thing they be inside the place.
It's day one at the COP28 event. Time for us to register. Here's my fit, guys. I had to give you another angle. I absolutely love this gorgeous girl, right? There's nothing like starting your day with fresh fruit and, of course, some sweet stuff because I'm a sweet tooth. My car arrived. I'm rolling around in Dubai in a Maybach, guys. Screw. Let's go to the Expo Center, which is where the event is taking place. The ride was very painless. As you can see, we arrived in time, very well organized, I must say. All the countries and all their flags are very well represented here. The blue zone is where the registration is taking place. It was a great day to network, guys. World leaders, industry players, everyone is in here. I couldn't help but notice this lovely woman in yellow. She looks so cute, doesn't she? And of course, I stopped by to grab a drink. I was thirsty from all that walking. The media stand where interviews are being conducted is right here. And that's it for day one. I'm going home, guys. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
See you tomorrow, Toke. Enjoy yourself, Jari. What's that lady's name again? The one that said, she be in a national budget. We go shop and something like that. Hey, what's her name again? Maybe if I remember her name, I'll remember the song very well. Who know like better things? She be in a national budget. We go chop them well. A national budget, enjoy. I just feel kind of fun. I mean, I feel somehow for some of you who spend every evening to come on to Mayegun's Diary Politico, to be shouting, I can be, he will spend 8 years. Baba, I wish people like you were drafted in. It's not that these ones went there to do anything per se. I wish some of you here are drafted in as a little reward so that you can at least have a small taste of what they are asking you to keep praying that they succeed in doing. But as usual, you are mostly useless. You know what I mean? There's no one that can say I'm supporting APC. That is, you know, I mean, that's normal to me. I don't know. I respect your uselessness, oh. Sincerely, I respect that. Because when I was growing up, right, it was my grandfather who told me, you know, I used to be very stubborn. I told you that many times, Abi. I used to be very stubborn. Like, I wasn't stubborn. I was just being a little boy, right? However, one day he called me. That's my old man. And he said, listen, I'm never going to lay my hand on you anymore. It's pointless. It's useless beating you or punishing you. No. What happened is that as you lay your bed, so you lie on it. Also, there is nobody that is really, really useless in this life. I can't remember if I asked him, what do you mean? I can't remember because I was like, just like, maybe I asked in my head, like, what do you mean? That nobody is useless in this life. But he continued anyway, said, you see, when you are good enough that you succeed in life and you become a role model, people will use you as a very good example to other children and say, don't you want to be like Mayeguni? Do you not want to be a son like Mayegun? What is wrong with you? What are you doing with your life? Can't you be like that young man? You know what I mean? Like, good example. He said, but if you make mess of your life, and you blame the world for whatever happened to you, and you blame except yourself, you blame the rest of the world for whatever you have done to your life, listen, you are still going to be an example to other people. They will still use you and say, do you want your life to be like that boy? Do you want to grow up and end up like that person? Is that how you want to end up your life? So you will always be useful as an example to others. Now that brings me to that part of when you are being defrauded. This is a true life story, and I want you to please listen. I may be repetitive in saying it, okay? Nevertheless, it is actually a true life story that happened to me. I have my own uncles and cousins that are likely to be watching as well. And this is going to bring back some memories, okay? It's a matter of when you are being defrauded, when you are being scammed. There is a different level of adrenaline that is kind of going to be running in you until the scam is over. Here you get. True life story. And it was there, it was in 2002. If I can remember very well. Yeah, 2002. Somebody called, and I remember that it was the moment mobile phone became available. I mean, when we used to buy a SIM card for 50,000 naira, SIM card, just to put in a 3310 phone of 30,000 naira. I don't know if you remember that or you are too young. Anyway, 2002. So somebody called my old man. My old man is not a lettered or educated person in that way, but he was a very successful businessman. He was a transporter. I mean, very successful. Most of his children, most of his children are back there working with him, and some of them are outside Nigeria in the US. So one of them, who is also probably watching, his name was used. They called my old man. Hello, Baba. Sorry, so person, no, so this is person speaking. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. I can. You know, the moment the old man now mentioned his son, the person who was calling just adopted that identity straight up. So he started kind of answering as the name of the son. Cut the long story short, they told our old man, there is this business, okay, and it is the supply of some chemicals. These chemicals are used in sort of, fixing pipelines, We are talking about crude oil pipelines. And it is something that is so scarce in Nigeria. But there is somebody who have them to sell. But that person who has all these materials to sell, right, would only sell to our old man because of his son and his connection. None of us felt like we should call our brother in the US and say, well, is this true? They just went on with it. And in that process, our old man would need to, each box was 30,000 naira. That 30,000 naira in 2002 could be equivalent to maybe 300,000 naira of today's money. So each box, and we were to get at least 1,000 of those boxes. That's a lot of money. So our old man decided to kind of cough out money from his business, from his days and all of that. He was even like borrowing from here. We could only get about 15. That was 450,000 naira. So they took him and my own brother, right, who pretty much was like acting as an advisor, the one that can speak English, okay? So they took, we went somewhere. They went somewhere and they brought a box, or about 5 boxes home. 5 boxes was 150,000 naira. And they told us that the Alaji that is coming for the supply will arrive in Lagos that afternoon. And he would meet with my old man, okay, to be sure that the business is legit. You need to see all of us clearing the house, telling all our tenants and their children to stay indoor so that our compound, our house could look pretty much like a business place. Indeed, the guy showed up. So well dressed, well shaved, smelled nice, and all of that stuff. And he walked in. We welcomed him. Some of us acted as security. So he went in, he discussed, blah, 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 and he left. He said he needed 1,000. My old man said we'll try and get him 100, but we couldn't. We could only get 15, 450,000. Why am I telling you all of this? It's because, you see, there is something that you, out of greed, do you get that now? Out of greed, something you believe that you are going to benefit, that no matter how ridiculous the benefit sounds, because of greed, you ignore all the dangers. You ignore all the questions. You just flow with it. Do you get that? By the time you realize that you have parted with your life savings, it would have been too late. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is this. A lot of you who continue to get swindled and swindled again and again and again by people, the same people, telling you the same lies, but differently. And then you turn around after a few years, you look back and you then join the chorus of God go punish our leaders, forgetting the fact that you have played your roles. You want to live in a country, right, that has a working economy, that, the citizens are pretty much like cared for, protected by those they elected. Yet, you are supporting the criminals who are not only just giving you money to turn against yourselves. They taught you how to, to grab it, snatch it, run with it. You can see all of the wrongs that they represent, but in your mind, they don't matter. They will change. Maybe they will change. Well, we finally got all the packages. And then they said they have spoken to the Alaji. He will buy 100 from us, not 1,000. Well, we went back to the place, we got 5, paid for another 10. Then I kind of, sort of asked a question. I remember asking that, why does this guy look like, is a scammer. I can't forget that. I think I did. And I was told, you and this your two know. You and this your two know. Will put you in trouble someday. Just shut up and just, I was young. I remember I was young. 2002. That should be 20 years ago or 21 years ago. 21 years ago. When they paid the money and then they started calling, it was then that they felt like we should call our brother in the US. When we called our brother in the US, finally, it was like, he was talking to my own brother then, like, are you really that daft? That you will encourage Baba to make us such money? Here you get, like, without even like, what is your business with pipeline? We decided to go and open the box. When we opened the box, what did we find? POP. You know that POP, the one that they use for plastering the ceilings and all that, yeah? Those were the things in those boxes. POP. I saw my old man. He never believed it. It was like they scammed me in this Lagos. Ha! I said, Baba, want to buy you. That's what it is. And to some people who believe in the lies of APC, because they want those lies to come true. They want what they heard them say. We are going to create jobs. All the poor people are going to be receiving money. Your children are going to get free education. We are going to give your children money to go to school. People wanted that to happen. But they are not paying attention to those who are promising them that. So they now wish that what they expected, as in what they were told, maybe one of these days is going to come to pass. But look at their actions. I've told you, I don't kind of want you to keep believing words. You should begin to look into actions, what they are doing, not what they are saying. Look at Koolu in that same COP28. Yesterday, it was a lady blocking him. Do you remember this one?
Majesty, Excellencies, all distinguished guests, if you wouldn't mind looking towards the media bank all at one time with a big smile, I'd be very grateful. Thank you so much.
She's blocking the president of Nigeria. Sir, she's blocking the president of Nigeria, so can she move a little bit?
It was like he's not even there. Again, they ask him, okay, Alaye, let us go and take pictures. They want to take group pictures. See where the manner is standing. They were even calling him, come closer. Come on, come here. He's probably not even sure he's there. And they are telling you they are signing a deal with Siemens. Of course, they signed a deal with Siemens. They said they want to accelerate the Siemens deals so that they can, on electricity. They signed that at the COP28. But why is he always lost? You remember when I told you that even when at different international engagements, when the world leaders or participants begin to speak to the press, when they speak, are interviewed and the rest of that, you begin to get to have more insight into what and why they are there, into what they are doing and why they are there, what's the benefit. You know what I mean? Talk about your country, CNN, BBC, all those places, they are there too. The king is there. King Charles is there. The media is there. But the reason why Koolu will always spark 200, 400, 500, 600 people to go before he gets to a place is because those are the people that you will see in the audience. Do you get that? Those ones that will be clapping. Bah, 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 bah. You'll be like, what did they clap for now? Who are they clapping for? Eh? I told you, they will never leave him alone with any media house, anytime, any day. Never. Without them writing the scripts, what the person is going to ask, and editing the broad. It will never, Tinubu will never join you in any live chats talking about Nigeria. Ko possible. Ko le happen. Do you get that? That's why they have to go with 600 people, so that they can fill up everywhere. They can make him feel like he's in Nigeria. The moment he's no longer with those people, he's completely lost. Totally. Abikilele Bayinsi. See how he's standing there like, why? Come on, man. Eh? Is that not even embarrassing? Baba, what is going on, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. He didn't move. Oh. He probably didn't even know. Some said he may even be high. You know, why won't those speculations continue to pop up? But the wastage, Abi, the country that is begging for money. Here is one country in Africa who has a leader. Just a reminder, you've seen it before.
That I'm now cleaning up, who will be the loudest in calling me names, claiming that I am the problem, and calling on citizens to attack me. But I'm not intimidated by that. I'm here to serve Malawians. And to do so, I'm prepared to do things that are painful as long as they are the right things. The most painful thing by far has been the recent devaluation of our currency to correct the false value of the kwacha based on nothing and rebuild true value in the kwacha based on production of exports. I know that this decision has caused a lot of pain, and I know that all of us now have to make big adjustments in spending so that we can prioritize those areas that are most productive and stay the course until our economy becomes productive and profitable again. In making those painful adjustments, I myself have to lead by example. This is why, effective immediately, all of my international trips between now and the end of the fiscal year, beginning with my trip to COP28 at the end of this month, are canceled. By extension, I'm putting a freeze on all public-funded international trips for all public officers at all levels, including those in parastatals, until the end of the financial year in March. In fact, all cabinet members currently abroad on public-funded trips must return to Malawi with immediate effect. Any travel deemed absolutely necessary by anyone during that period must be submitted to my office for my personal authorization. Secondly, I order that all fuel entitlements for cabinet ministers, principal secretaries, directors, and all members of senior management of public institutions should be cut in half with immediate effect. Thirdly, until further notice, I order the Secretary of the President and Cabinet to circulate to all public institutions a criteria for local trainings and local travel that will be acceptable, as well as a cap on how much of their budgets can be spent on allowances for such trainings and trips. By doing this, I am effectively ending the practice of draining public coffers to spend on allowances for useless activities. I know that there will be some who created this mess that I'm now cleaning up, who will be the loudest in calling me names, claiming that I am that I'm now cleaning up, who will be the...
That is the president of Malawi. It wasn't just saying, it was acting. And acting alone will make everyone who believes they are working for him and the country to toe the same path. How hard is that? They removed subsidy. A fraud that they are telling you to believe, and some of you are actually saying it to yourself, and you continue to try to say it until you will believe it. They removed subsidy, and they have been saving money from subsidy. If we ask you now, how much have they saved from the removal of subsidy? Where is the money? Fight go start. Inside Nigeria, but first, we will go inside their Senate, where Abaribe and Oshiomole were having a breakbat over the submission of empty box as a budget by Tinubu. We are back. We are back now to Abuja.
From this budget. First, the Federal Executive Council approved, as part of this budget, the 8-point, I will say, agenda for the budget. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, nothing about power. Yet, in the same place, they are talking about employment. How are you going to employ anybody without power? How will the people who are welders, vulcanizers, and everybody do any work without power? So, and then in the main budget itself, I took time to go and look through the budget, and we are seeing that what was put for power was just about 3% of the total budget. Well, how will 3% of the total budget deal with an issue that is fundamental to the economy? Because if you don't have power, you do nothing. Every other thing that we are talking about, how would that work? So I think that this budget, I pray that we look around at it again as a Senate and see how we reorganize the priorities in the budget. Otherwise, what we will see is garbage in, garbage out.
The minority leader.
I wrote on the register that I want to speak today, not yesterday. I only commented on child abuse and women abuse yesterday. If that is an offense to the acting leader, thank God you are acting. Mr. President, let me lend my voice and commend you for getting us to sit today, be Friday. I think this is to respond to Mr. President's request that we do everything we can to maintain the budget cycle. And you have provided leadership for us to sit. And that for me is an indication that we are ready to make all the sacrifices we need to make to ensure that the National Assembly is not found wanting in terms of the critical idea of when does this budget take effect. There is no need to recycle the arguments already made about the key objectives. They are laudable, they are clear, they are doable. But I want us to be careful in commenting on some of the issues that we had already discussed, namely exchange rate. Those were discussed about 2 weeks before. And I'm not sure it's going to be helpful for us to revisit it. Have you already passed a decision on it? But the additional point I want to raise is that exchange rate is not a matter for parliaments to debate. It should not be a political issue. It is a matter that should be driven by competent, well-skilled, well-thought-out macroeconomic policy. It is those policies in effect that will determine whether the Naira dashes up or it dashes down. I believe, as the President said yesterday, we are supposed to do everything bold, take tough decisions on the economy, block leakages, ensure that Nigerian people get value for money, and we sensibly focus on job creation, which simply means producing more at home rather than importing more from abroad. If those policies are achieved, they would actually have positive impact on exchange rate. We have to be careful. We can't endorse the activities of those who are operating outside the system as being the key drivers or those who determine what our exchange rate should be. That is why those or people who claim that they are buying Naira at 1,100, I'm like, we as senators, we shouldn't be seen to be patronizing a market that is unknown to law. Therefore, I think the 750 is okay. If I have my way, it should be 500. Because the indicator should be that as a nation, we do not accept that the Naira continue to suffer endless flogging. It makes macroeconomic objective, in my view, to target the idea of bringing down the exchange rate and achieve stability at the rate of 750 or even below. Lastly, in order to keep to time, sir, I hope that those resolutions we pass in this house that we directed to Parliament, this is the occasion to visit them, with particular reference to the Bini, Auchi, Okene,
Thank you very much. Nuisance lele.
Nuisance ni àwọn eléyìí. Now, I was kind of, I wanted you to see the convo they were having over the faceless budget that, was sent to them through a flash drive. They said, however, in the area of how much have they really saved? Like, forget about the word salad, all the word, blah, 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 those are just words, all right? Take a look at their actions. A broke country who produces almost nothing, but import almost everything. The Naira has no backing. In their budget, there is no investment in the real economy to improve the Naira. Nothing, just talk. Microeconomy, macro, this nonsense they talk about, right? On the other hand, okay, they are the saboteurs, the ones that will never allow that Naira to breathe. One of them was defending, the same guy who defended the Bukwari's madness, Aliun Dume, a Boko Haram, what do you call it, informant, be sympathizer himself too. It was out just 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? And as usual, since the National Assembly has become a place where the national anthem can take probably the back seat for Tinubu's anthem, he was there to defend that. He said they also shouted Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba during the Bukwari's time inside the National Assembly. But here, he said Tinubu is making tough decisions for you, including subsidy. I want you to listen to him, because the question I'm going to ask you afterward is going to be, do you know how much they have saved? And more. Probably not. Let it just be here.
There's a lot of suffering in the land.
Yes.
And that is a very hard message to sell.
But all Nigerians also agree that some of the hard decisions is something that need to be taken. You can imagine what we saved from the period he had just announced abruptly that, look, this is all subsidy something, no more.
Like a very good friend, Goswell Akpabio, said, that the pain that we're experiencing is going to be like the pain of a childbirth. You agree with him, though?
Yeah, I agree that it's not something like that. I agree with him on that. And also it's something like, Nigeria was sick. It's like malaria. You need to take chloroquine, or very bitter, But after some time, you even get heightened level in, when you are treating malaria. But if you don't take the treatment, it can kill you. You understand? So I think it's good that the president took that kind of a decision. And I'm happy that he has a good team around him. So far, so good.
You look at the recommendation of UNESCO, for example, on funding education, and you look at the quota or the sectoral, the disposition of the president in terms of the allocation for education, for example, is just a paltry 7.9%, 2.18 trillion across all the tertiary and other sectors of education.
That is okay. There is an introduction of students' scholarship now. Let me say again, education is very important, but when you don't secure the country and you don't create the enabling environment, you are talking about increasing the percentage to meet the UNESCO quota
suggestion.
Suggestion. I think this will come up later, but let's secure the country first. Let's secure the country as he proposes. Let's invest in this social investment that the president quickly brought amendment to the Social Investment Act, which he already signed. And in this year he budgeted, I think, 534 billion for social investment.
I was going to come to that. Social development and poverty reduction program, 534 billion.
No,
that's 2% of the budget.
Yes.
I mean, you and your colleagues are still investigating what was spent under the Buhari government on these social intervention programs.
Yes.
And this kind of money going there, do you trust that this money will really go directly to Nigerians? That's a major problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a major problem, but you can see the president is even serious. He removed it from Ministry of Humanitarian and brought it under the vice president, so there will be more eyes, watching over it. And we too, we have seen it. But the National Assembly have been talking about it even during the Buhari administration. I confronted them at one time. I said it, I challenged it, and I was, I've been vindicated because actually most of them literally stole the money.
That was meant for social intervention.
Yes, and they keep on talking about statistics and this and all that, and it was all full of lies. But this time around, Mr. President has changed it.
So those monies for welfare, they were being stolen?
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that what was going on?
Are you cross-examining me?
No, I'm asking you a question, Senator.
So if people didn't get it and the money is not there, what happened? Let me ask you.
What will you and your colleagues do about this?
Money has been budgeted, all right? And people were claiming that so amount has been paid, and there was nothing to show on ground. Where is the money?
Maybe they kept it in the bank.
Okay, so that is your answer.
So I wanted to ask you, what would you and your colleague now do about that?
We are going to look at it more. That is to do our thorough job and oversight. We have started. We have started doing that, and this is the 10th Senate. It's different. And this is President Tinubu, not Buhari. And this Federal Executive Council too is a different one. All the team, the Vice President, and then there are some changes. And most people now understand, though, that this president is very serious about turning things around. I don't think he would tolerate anybody that was going to be a stumbling block around him, or.
So Nigerians should have high expectation and high hopes.
I have that one too. And honestly,
Nuisance, Lily. Nuisance.
Do you need somebody else to tell you that the plot to scam you has been perfected? Are you too slow not to see and smell it and smell that? Especially when they brought the question to the social security investment, the money that Bokwari was sharing. For 4 years, Bokwari was sharing 500 billion to the poorest Nigerians. and the money disappeared. That's why he confirmed that he said the money was gone. There's no real statistic, anything to back it. Nothing. So what are you doing about it now? Then he readjusted. What's he going to do about it? He knows that the money is gone. Everybody's taking their own share. Here you get. Tinubu is going to take his. And those who are going to, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. When they said they should share money for you for palliative, they borrowed money in your name. 800 billion for subsidy removal palliative. How much they consider one share to all of you? And how much have you received so far? Shishi. Shingbai. But 800 billion, those lawmakers, they got 240 billion from it. 240 billion. Nigeria has no money to actually fund their lifestyle anymore. But who gives a damn? They don't care about that. That's your problem. If they have to borrow it, if they have to print it, they can continue to give you the word salad that makes you believe that something is actually going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Development, you can keep dreaming. You can't build anything around where you have these parasites. They are parasites. They are the ones, it's like giving them blank check. They can write any amount. They can take any money. They can do anything. They can, you know what I mean? Like, nobody to hold them. And those are the money somebody once said that as bad as Nigeria is right now, if they give him 40 billion naira, 45 billion naira, it will build a business that will employ 2,000 people, okay? And it will be having a turnover that is not, that is, what do you call it? The profit that is not less than 500 million naira every month. Somebody said that. That is the money these criminals will use to buy cars. Who gives a damn about getting you jobs? In the budget that you are reading, so they have not started the padding of it, or they will pad all of that, okay? But ask him, he took a decision to remove subsidy. How much have you now saved from that subsidy? How much have you borrowed to subsidize naira to dollar? Well, it's up to you. For those of you who are pretty much like easily swayed and deceived, here is one honorable who said, listen, these people, they only understand one language, and that is.
Being one of the junior defense lawyers for Kesarewa, and throughout, Kesarewa argued against for non-violence. Nigeria has no respect for people who argue for non-violence. They simply hung him. After Ken was killed, it wasn't long, I became lawyer to Atiketor, militant leader. You shoot him, he will shoot you back. And at the end of the day, when the Yaradua wanted to negotiate with Atiketor, they sent a presidential jet. And the presidential jet carried him and I and his militants to Abuja. We sat and negotiated. The only thing Nigeria respects today is militancy. Capacity to fight and defend for yourself. All this thing Wisely is talking, mobilize, campaign, waste of time. The militants in the Niger Delta today are effectively nominating people as commissioners, governors, legislators, ministers, all over the place. So, if anybody tells you that you can continue to function the way you're doing, and be thinking that you cannot, let me tell you the truth. Chagoury's message is far more resonates with the masses than that of Peter. But Chagoury no get money now. That's the truth. That's the truth. So let us face it. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are angry, but they are not sufficiently angry. They will soon get sufficiently angry. Amen. And I am saying that before they get sufficiently angry, the judges that are manipulating the judicial process are doing what they should do. That is what they know to do. The politicians who are rigging elections are doing what they should do. That is what they understand to do. The INEC officials who are collaborating, people like Prof and all the rest of them, are doing what they will do. You know, what the only people who are not doing what they should do are the masses who are suffering, who are victims. I subscribe to the masses understanding that you will never get justice from the legislature. Never. You will never get justice from the executive. Never, ever. You will never get justice from the judiciary. You will get justice through your organization and your capacity and the courage to resist by every means necessary. It is not a moral question. It is not a moral question. If you ever think it's a moral question, you want to march on the street and they will now drive you away, you're wasting your time. You must be prepared to resist them by every means necessary. Thank you very much.
We are getting there. I saw a video of Unwanyam telling the Igbos who are victims of a political, ethnic persecution, ethnic profiling. That is so obvious that those who are still living in their own politically correct minds, they can continue to live in that, as pronounced as it is. The likes of Nwanyanwu of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, right? They have become so politically irrelevant that I don't think their words actually moves anything anymore. But I'm going to play you that. Then I'm going to remind all of us that those who are witnessing the attack on the Igbos right now across Nigeria, I mean, since APC, Egbekegbe came on 8 years ago, I have a reminder for you. So that if everybody wants to live in their fake one Nigeria, at least I will remind you of the truth. Now, knowing the truth and going for the lies, I will also remind you to live by the consequences of your choices and actions. You will not claim ignorance that much, because ignorance is not an excuse anymore, is it? Listen to Wanyao. I picked that up yesterday. But yeah, please.
Progress towards the unity, towards the success of Nigeria in every field. Any honest Nigeria will agree that Igbos have played a major role in every aspect of life that has shaped the destiny of our great country, Nigeria. Probably the history of Nigeria as a country started when Frederick Lugard in 1914 amalgamated Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate. But I want you to know that Igbos have existed where we live today in Nigeria even before Christ was born. I am setting up a museum of Igbo history. And when the results come out, you will see that Igbos are perhaps where they live today. We have been very old there. So we are old. In Nigeria, Igbo activity in Lagos and in many parts of Nigeria predate the 1914 amalgamation by Frederick Lugard. So in effect, Igbos have been part of this territory called Nigeria for a very long time. In 1914, Nigeria was amalgamated. We now became one country. That gave Nigeria, it was the determination to move around, to help in building a country, Nigeria. Igbo traders, Igbo entrepreneurs, Igbo artisans, Igbo craftsmen dispersed all over the country. Our people left our home in the eastern part and went to the north and went to the west. Eventually, Lagos became the federal capital. And of course, like in all countries, a national capital is a challenge. The development of a national capital is a challenge not only to those who are domiciled there, but it's a challenge to anybody who regards himself as a patriotic citizen of Nigeria. So when Lagos was accepted as capital of Nigeria, Igbos, most of them are dead today, our forebears, they rose to the challenge. Challenge of that time is investment. Investment, massive investment to make the capital Lagos a proper, a fitting headquarters for Nigeria. That's how Igbos scattered all over. That's how Igbos moved into Lagos by a sense of patriotism. Igbos came into Lagos. They found some swampy lands. They bought the land. Igbos, when they came to Lagos, they never came there to take anybody's property. They came there, they saw empty, they bought the land. They converted swampy lands to habitable places. They built businesses, they built homes, they built schools, they developed Lagos. In effect, without the enterprise, without the patriotism of Igbos, of Nigerians like the Igbos, many other Nigerians did the same, but it will appear, because of population, Igbos were in large number. But these pioneers, these our forebears, are the heroes of the time, the heroes of what we call today a very strong Lagos. When they came there, Lagos was basically swamp, but they converted it to very wonderful, beautiful headquarters we see today in Nigeria. I want on this occasion to salute our forebears. I want to salute all those Igbos, our people who left their home, the comfort of their home in eastern Nigeria, and crossed the Niger and went to Lagos and participated in developing Lagos. In the normal character of Igbos, when they went to Lagos, they didn't say that the property there is their own. They made sure they identified the owners. I have it on record that Igbos, wherever they went, they bought the land, they obeyed the laws, both local and federal, and they have been law-abiding. And in return, they were very highly respected by the natives. People in Lagos respected, the Yorubas respected Igbos. They built very solid and sound relationship with Igbos. Igbos lived in Lagos without any problem, in peace and in love. And that was a proper and fitting action to their behavior, their character, or coming to help in developing the Lagos. We continued in Nigeria until 1960. We had independence. At independence, Nigeria had a constitution. That constitution was a good constitution.
Thank you very much for the beautiful rendition of Igbo's entrepreneurship, enterprising, and all of that. Rich and true. But that is not what we are talking about. In Nigeria, to those of you who really are so, I don't know what to call it, so afraid to speak exactly what it is, to say the way it is, you are ignoring the obvious that the Igbos in Nigeria are fighting, they are facing a cold war from the rest of Nigeria. And a cold war is mostly not physical, like you will see. The Igbos in Nigeria, I believed that they can never be president or lead Nigeria. This kind of narratives and the actions in that same Lagos today, if anybody has any Igbo sort of a bloodline, you cannot be appointed into the political office in Lagos State now. If they should know, you will be sacked with immediate effect. Because they are saying that the Igbos, the fascist APC, Egbekegbe, they are saying that the Igbos are coming for the Yorubas. And they are doing everything to make sure that that becomes the norm. They are already calling their fellow Yorubas who have a Igbo bloodline as contaminated blood. We are already seeing that. So if anybody wants to speak, don't tell us about everything we know about the Igbos. Tell us, how are the Igbos perceived and treated in the existing Nigeria? This is a reminder. 8 years ago, this was a thing. It's a flashback. Sit back and listen.
Congrats, Nigeria. Happy Democracy Day. Press 1 to copy this tune.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still water.
Alaji, congratulations. Thank you very much, Koolu. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Honestly, I accept your congratulations, even though I'm PDP. Because you remember one time when the fighting in Borno, when our people were being killed left and right. Then what is it, Alaji? I said, do you remember one time when our people were being killed in Borno State, left and right, Bauchi, Gombe, everywhere in the north? Of course. I remember you were saying that was there any Southerner among us? We were the one killing ourselves. I always remember this statement, Mr. Koolu. But look at this today now. Today, our brother is in charge, and I'm sure he made it clear to the world. The first thing he said was that he was moving the command of Nigerian army to Maiduguri until when Boko Haram is over. So if not your brother as the president, who will do it for you? But we could have done it to anybody in Nigeria. But you can see that some people refuse to do it for us. So really, really, today I understand why we have to have the presidency, honestly. No, it's like that, Koolu. Koolu is like that. Because how can anybody convince us that some miscreants cannot be dealt with by Nigerian army? Why can't we believe it was deliberately left? Even if there is no involvement of government hand in it, why can't we believe that it was deliberate? Let them kill themselves. Well, it has come out even very clear, because it was at a point in our campaign, they were saying that by the killings of Boko Haram, there will be no population again. In fact, let me tell you why the North insisted that Jonathan has to go, because we had the plan that if Jonathan continues, the same problem will happen in Kano, the same problem will happen in Sokoto, the same problem will happen in Jos and Ebro until when our population is depleted. No. We have had a wonderful experience, honestly. In order to avoid the problem, that's why I said the people. No, whether he accepted or not, the North it was clear voting now. What could he have done? Remember what Babangida did for us? Babangida, you see, what happened was, even when Babangida did it, you understand? Do you get me? The bulk of the population that voted was from the North. And Rimi said it. Since Babangida was in Abuja, Governor Rimi of Kano State, then, former governor of Kano State, he said, if they swine Abiola in Lagos, Babangida will have said it is Yoruba that did it. So Abiola should fly to Kano, they will swear him as president, and they'll stand their ground. Before we know, they rallied around Abiola, they said, don't go to North, if you go, they will kill you. Maybe so happened. Do you understand? No. So I'm coming now. So Babangida got the... Abacha has incarcerated him for many years. I'm coming now. I'm coming. Before we are talking about the cancellation now, the cancellation of the elections. And two, didn't you not see that even from the West, there were people who supported there are big men who joined in the cancellation of the elections. But whatever it is, at that time, it was nobody was killing the Yorubas left and right. Babangida was virtually betraying everybody. And today, have you not seen him on TV? Have you not seen how he was looking? Is God not wonderful? Did you not see Babangida? Even though I have promised,
Even though I have promised as from today, so long as he's my brother from the north, even if he's eating everybody in Nigeria, fresh, you come out with Nigerian man leg eating, I will not say it's bad again. Because I have learned how to support my people from what I have seen with Igbos and some people in Nigeria with Jonathan.
But you must thank God for Yoruba. Yoruba supported by otherwise we don't have come.
No, I'm coming, please. I'm coming. Let me tell you one fact. I'm coming. Listen to me, Kule. A section of Yoruba supported Buhari. Listen to me, please. Let us make this thing clear. You understand? We are all politicians.
Yes.
The Tinubus, since 1960s, since the Oyibo left the country, Yoruba was told one word. We are first Yorubas. You are first Yoruba before you are a Muslim, you are a Christian or Nigerian.
Yes.
So or not so?
Yeah, you are right.
Abi? Okay.
Yes, you are right, right.
Now, all along, a Yoruba man, whoever he is, whether Muslim or Christian, preferred anybody in this house to rule him than a Hausa-man from the north. That's the truth about it. So, fortunately, I'm coming, sir. Let me learn. Fortunately, the center is controlled by non-Muslim, non-Northerners. Are you getting me? And Jonathan, fortunately for the North, Jonathan decided to use religion and slash the Yorubas to the extent, for the first time, Yorubas were divided religiously. To the extent Muslims, Yorubas stood their ground and said they were not supporting Jonathan. They even refused to attend the meetings of the Jonathan. The papers are there, their statements are there in the papers. So or not so, sir?
No, I like this.
Read it, it's there. That's the truth. It's there. Even when he went, there were some few Muslim leaders who met Jonathan. The Supreme Council of Islam of Western Nigeria or Yoruba land came out clearly and said no, they disagreed. Do you get me? We know the population of Yoruba, close to 80%, or let's say close to 60% are Muslim. This man constituted a national conference. This is the Yorubas that were saying it. We read it and we had them saying it.
Yes.
So that succeeded in dividing the Yoruba themselves. Now, two, the humiliation, whatever they did to us, our own was that let them kill us and reduce our population. But at least they still know that we are significant politically and they allowed us to maintain some position. But in the case of Yorubas, they were sliced out of the whole system. So or not so. That was how Tinubu and
the issue of Boko Haram, if we have to talk about Boko Haram, it's not from the south now.
I am coming now. Let me forget about Boko Haram now. We brought about the Yoruba politics. Now, Tinubu and the Yorubas generally carried what happened to them and went to Kaduna and met them in Kaduna and begged them that we have to put our head together. Look, sir, let me tell you the truth and find out. At a point, the Yoruba, being humiliated under Jonathan, were even considering to cut off and put their Oduduwa Republic. But they realized if they do that, the Igbos were completely in charge of finance, civil service, security, and everything. If they dare do that,
now East and the North, they enjoy
exactly. I'm coming now. The Yorubas now.
You didn't benefit at all.
I'm coming, yes. The Yoruba at a point, the Yoruba intelligence at a point realized that if they cut off, the Igbos will finish them. If they stay as it is and Igbo continue ruling, they will be completely finished. Before Jonathan, significant part of the economy, who are the accountants are Yorubas, who are the judiciary and lawyers are Yorubas, who are the civil service are Yorubas. Today you can't find any one of them. So or not so? So that's why the Yorubas say, even if we want to leave this country, we must get this power out of the hand of the Igbos and reposition ourselves.
The Northerners really benefited from that Jonathan too much, Alagi. We have the calculations of the government.
We agree. What can he do? He must now. He must. He wouldn't do to us that. He must. He knows that we can do it. He must deal with us. So that was why the Yoruba said no. Whatever it is. So, but what I assure you,
let's keep on praying for President Buhari.
We have.
I just thought I should remind you of that. Just in case if you have been so carried away with your one Nigerian. And as an Igbo man or woman watching this broadcast, I don't know how much you hate yourself. There's something called self-hate. You know, where people feels like they should be desired. Like they are sad that they will be sad if people don't show that they love them, or I love you. They wanted to be loved. They wanted to be, to be loved, even by people who are constantly and regularly reminding you of your place in a supposed place, in a supposed country where the equality should exist. It doesn't. So I don't know how much you probably hate yourself, all right? But if you can see happenings like this in the political space, in the economic space, and you are seeing all these hands moving, all these destructions happening, and you are telling yourself they are just like normal thing. It's a normal thing. You know what I mean? It's a God. Why did they build on the canal? Why did they build on Ikoyi this or that? The narratives that they want you to, but you won't see the real actions behind. Here you get. I'm not saying you should be playing like, you know what I mean, like what they say, the victim card, as it is right now in Nigeria. Now, person will not get sense. Here you get. Go point at the Igbos and say the Igbos are playing victims card. Now, person will not get sense. As Nigeria exists today, every part of Nigeria is an example of what a toxic relationship truly means. Every part of Nigeria is a victim of a failed country that these criminals are administering. So you'll be too dumb to think when our neighbors speak about their own marginalization, you think you are better off to point at them and call it every. No, I don't want you to feel like that. I'm saying stop living in denial and begin to understand what is really, really fashioned against you, the surrounding. Smell it around. Don't always make it look like it's something beautiful to say, I am Igbo and I support Nigeria. How dumb can somebody be? So I call that self-hate. You know, one of the reasons why I don't like all this Sharia North and their Sharia Islam, I mean, and their Sharia Sheikh and their what do you call them? Their Emir, Sultan. You know why I don't like them? It's because in Nigeria, where they force all of us together today, I am considered an infidel, a filthy thing. Do you understand? And if they have a chance, they will cut off my head and they will feel no remorse and there will be no punishment for it. How do you want me to pretend that I'm comfortable with such? Even though I am not an Igbo man. There is no real target on my back. I am just a victim of a contraption that they forced all of us together with no option. But in that contraption, I have some people who have a bloodshot, who have been religiously brainwashed that it is okay to kill me if I say something that offends them about the Muhammad, about their religion, about Allah in the same country. How could I pretend that, but we are all this? We are not the same. No, we can't be the same. Where people kill me because of their religion, where they call me an infidel. I can't like you. Don't pretend that you like me. Because there are those with that mindset, and I've always been very clear. Sharia North is the Nigeristan of Nigeria. The terrorism in Nigeria originated from the Sharia North. Now imagine if I happen to be an Igbo, where I have to be constantly reminded I should not do more than myself. When they are saying all of us Nigerians, they just need them for the numbers. I say, what is the population of Nigeria? Over 200 million. The biggest black nation on earth. The most populous black nation on earth. The most kiniko on earth. But when you say, now let's take a look at those who make up the country. then they begin to tell you, as an Igbo man, know your place. We can't trust you. We don't trust you. In the same country. So if I was an Igbo man, my own go mad. He go madder than that of Nnamdi Kanu. Seriously, I mean, I have to be honest. I would probably be more madder. I won't be calmer like Nnamdi Kanu. I would be like Rambo style. I mean, by the time I understand how the system is rigged against me, and I have not done anything wrong, I just want to exist like everyone else. I just want to do things like everyone else. And if I run foul of the law, I want to be punished like everyone else. I don't want to be singled out. And when I live in such place, I don't want anybody to come around and tell me that, you know what I mean? One Nigeria. I'm an Igbo man. But I believe in one Nigeria. Continue deceiving yourself because you have no idea what you are talking about. Because it's not you. It is them. The system that deliberately, after killing over 5 million Igbos, forced them to remain in Nigeria. And they won't let them go. But they will never, as they continue to say, trust them. So if I'm not right there and you are fighting that Cold War with me, destroying the Naira in order to crush our own businesses and all of that, you saw it coming. And you can live all the fake you like. It's up to you. But don't pretend that you have no idea what is going on. Here is another part. I will give you both. So reminder.
We, the Northerners, when we were in charge of Lagos as federal capital, that opened room for Igbos to come and dominate them. And it's over now. And it's over. All the businesses Igbos are doing, we are going to bring it and do it. Do you get me? Fashola for the past 5 years have refused to approve any industry, especially pharmaceutical, to Igbo people. Find out.
You are right. I get you. Are right.
Do you get me?
Right.
So the Yorubas in these 4 years, that's what we are telling ourselves. If we in the North want to be useless again, let us be. But the Yoruba people in the 4 years, they want to control their land completely. That's why Buhari have to sign that Lagos is going to be given special status. We are going to have a kind of semi-regional system. Lagos is going to have special status. It means nobody again will control Lagos. The indigenes of Lagos are the ones that are going to control Lagos. They can form land policies. Do you get me? They may decide to say, you as a Yoruba man in Lagos, you will pay 5,000 naira per annum for a land. As me as a Hausa man, I will pay 10,000 naira. Igbo man will pay 1 million naira. This is why they are heading to war. Do you get me? So now, unfortunately, again, the attitude.
In fact, hang on. We're going to hear that again. I just want to remind you that that audio surfaced. One sec. Yeah, sorry about that. So, a quick one. You see that audio you are listening to? So, surfaced on the internet 8 years ago. 8 years ago. And you see that part you are about to listen to, which was a recorded phone conversation 8 years ago. I want you to begin to pay attention now to what is happening pre-2023 and post-2023. And then you can continue to shout your one Nigeria. I am Igbo. I believe in one Nigeria. I believe that Nigeria can still work. And if you die, you want your children to continue to live in that fraud, lie. But what do you want us to do? You're asking me. Maybe this will convince you or probably guide you to have an idea of what you should do. 8 years ago audio and 8 years after. see what is going on.
We, the Northerners, when we are in charge of Lagos as federal capital, that opened room for Igbos to come and dominate them. And it's over now. And it's over. All the businesses Igbos are doing, we are going to bring it and do it. Do you get me? Fashola for the past 5 years have refused to approve any industry, especially pharmaceutical, to Igbo people. Find out.
You are right. I get you. Are right.
Do you get me?
Right.
So the Yorubas in these 4 years, that's what we are telling ourselves. If we in the North want to be useless again, let us be. But the Yoruba people in the 4 years, they want to control their land completely. That's why Buhari have to sign that Lagos is going to be given special status. We are going to have a kind of semi-regional system. Lagos is going to have special status. It means nobody again will control Lagos. The indigenes of Lagos are the ones that are going to control Lagos. They can form land policies. Do you get me? They may decide to say, you as a Yoruba man in Lagos, you will pay 5,000 naira per annum for a land as tenant rent. Me as a Hausa man, I will pay 10,000 naira. Igbo man will pay 1 million naira. This is why they are heading for. Do you get me? So now, unfortunately, again, the attitude of the Igbos have made the illiterate Northerners who have not gone to school to realize now, I say they are powerful. They are the one who give these people land to stay. They are the one who give them food by the power of God. They are the one who accommodated them by the power of God. Do you get me? Since Igbos can turn around and humiliate us, look at what they did to us. Those people that they assemble about 400 of them and call them Boko Haram. Do you understand? Do you know that they picked them one by one? They were not moving in convoy. They made some of them to drink their urine. Also have to come and meet the president and tell him that, look, if one person is killed among these people, I'm telling you, no Igbo man will come out of Kano. That was how they released the Hausa people from Jigawa and Kano, whom they selected and arrested and called them Boko Haram. 2, you are in Nigeria, I'm in Nigeria. Rochas was actually brought up in the north. But it is in his own state. That's why we are telling you, even the Amechi, the Rochas of Kola that are MP, we don't trust them. They are on their own. Let me tell you this. They are on their own. Nobody can deceive us again. We are wise now.
Businessmen, they are businessmen.
No, what I'm telling you is that Rochas was in. He is running to Sultan. He didn't know Sultan has no significance in this government. Even last 2 days he was in Sokoto. He didn't know that even Sultan has no significance in this government. He was in this north. It was Rochas State, Imo State, that they started saying that Hausa people must have ID card to live in that state.
Yes.
Can you hear me? They say Hausa people must have ID card to live in state.
Yes.
Until when we mobilize our people here and say, okay, in that case, all Southerners must live north. Then Jonathan now realized that there was something going on. You say, no, these things have to stop. So are we mad? Do you get me? Count every 5 shops in this north. 4 shops are owned by Igbos. What is Igbo's contribution in the economy? It's not trade, and fraudulent trade for that matter, including you. Igbo have cheated you, unless if you are not buying spare parts and tires and medicine. So or not so?
It's so allergic.
Do you get me? Yet we accommodated them. Is it going to Dubai to bring fake drugs that we cannot do it? Now the plan is drugs now. No Igbo man will again sell drugs in this north. We are going to bring it from Kano. Drugs are brought by air. They are going to open massive coolers, rooms in Kano and import it all north, and maybe whatever want to buy, come and buy from Kano. No Igbo will sell drugs again. We are tired of all this nonsense. We know how to control our places the way they control their own. What we are saying is that we are all Nigerians, but we are going to learn what they are doing in Southeast and do it in the North too. Simple. Yes. We don't have ancestors, but if Buhari today, as president of this country, want to buy land in the East, he will go and negotiate everything. Tomorrow the chiefs will come and tell him that ancestors made them yesterday night and said they should not sell the land for them. So we don't have ancestors, or we are betraying ourselves. Our ancestors have told us that we have been careless. That's why we suffered for the past 6 years. We have to wake up now. It's a very serious thing.
Move forward.
No. We cannot, sir. The society is already adulterated. That's why, to be honest to you, let me tell you, to be honest to you, we never wanted Buhari in this law. We wanted Konkoso.
Yes.
We want.
That's what I'm saying.
If it is Konkoso,
the primary, Konkoso will have defeated Buhari.
Listen to me. Hey, you know the Tinubus and Co prefer Buhari because they can.
Tinubu now, he really tried.
Can you hear me? Because Concoso will have solved this North-South problem for us within 6 months. In Kano, Concoso gathered all the Igbos and told them that all these drugs that he closed, all those fake drugs they are selling in Kano. They know him now. So that's why we wanted Concoso to be the district. Igbos met in Abuja and warned us after the election that they were the ones in charge of 75% of Abuja is their own. They should be given minister of. Can you imagine? Negotiate and say this is the governor they want with their rulers, everything. Igbo say no, he cannot be governor. Haba. In somebody's land. In somebody's land. Haba kule. The arrogance is so much.
So, it is so unfortunate that he kept using the Yorubas. The Yorubas said, no, it was Tinubu's APC, Egbekegbes, that if you don't support anyone that Tinubu chooses, you will be declared as Igbo. And they will say your opposition to Tinubu's choice is an opposition to the Yorubas. But go back there. 8 years of Bokwari. Did Lagos become the special city? Did they build the drug coolant in Kano? But one thing they succeeded in doing is that they ruined and destroyed, countless Igbos' businesses by their central bank round-tripping and the collapse of the Nigerian Naira. That one, they succeeded. Many Igbo businesses died. Those who are still standing, let them tell you their stories of survival. A lot of them, you will weep for them and say, but why? But they never really added any value to the lives of the people in those 8 years. But something here now. The guy who made that threat against the Igbos, promising to use their power and the position they held to deal with the Igbos in the same country. Yes, we are of the same Nigeria, but we just want them to be on their own. But you are always there, mobilizing your military, mobilizing your DSS, hunting down the bold, courageous young men and women of Igbo extraction, demanding for a peaceful referendum. You kidnapped the leader of the group that is asking for a referendum. You kidnapped him, locked him up. But you want to punish them because some said it is because of jealousy. So if they are demolishing your houses right now, if you ask those who are Igbos, who are in the pharmaceutical fields, they will tell you their stories. How policies after policies were targeted at Igbos and their businesses. And to this day, a lot of them, those who are still alive, they are counting their losses right now. That is what Nigeria is. That guy is now the vice president of Nigeria, wearing a sagu, dressing like Igbo, talking like, oh dear man, God is patient. He is. However, if God is not patient, Imo youth, I don't want to jump. How far December don't come? To those of you, the Buharidins, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaharis, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the humbled slaves of this world, including your uncles and aunties abroad, the Abroadian Buhari idiots, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers. Now to Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris. All of you now will be saying the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all risers, the bastards, Abibati Dioti, the Sai barbarians, all your clan generally. Remember they told you that by December, they were going to start, Nigeria was going to start manufacturing aircrafts. December 2023, in the second, today, second or third, Nigeria is not manufacturing pencil. To you, Imo youth, by December, Hopeless Uzodigba, Hopeless Uzodijo, told you that all you needed to do, 4,000 of you, to end up being employed with a residency visa, working visa in Europe. He promised you a few months back. It's not that long ago. I think it was 2 months ago. Anyway, December don't come. Oh, before I say anything, may I remind you, and I hope I will receive confirmation of those of you who are going to Europe before Christmas. You remember this, right?
Let me tell you something. I have gone further to negotiate with the European Union companies and Canadian companies. They are sending us special areas of digital skill, which our youth will also learn. And by December this year, 4,000 Imo youths will be employed in Europe. And once the employment letter comes, the governor will pay for your 8 tickets.
The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. December is here. I hope all of you don't receive your travel ticket. So I'm not going to say much on that, okay? Talking about travel tickets, ladies and gentlemen, there is something that always bothers me every time I sort of get to remember that among all the worst things happening to Nigeria due to these criminalities of these criminals, health sector in Nigeria, which has suffered decades of underfunding and neglect. But what Nigerian health sector has suffered in the last 8 years of APC, Egbekegbe in Nigeria, is monumental, catastrophic. But me, what another word? Give me some fancy words I feel use. Something way big, shall we say, you are supposed to be like, you should be worried. Even if you have money, you are rich. Oh, I am rich. Oh, we thank God, though. Accessing healthcare is becoming harder and harder. And with the collapsing Nigerian naira and the exchange rates and all of that, getting medical care outside Nigeria is also becoming dearer and dearer and dearer. Dearer got nice you. Don't think when I say dearer is fine. It's not fine. Dear, scarce, tough, expensive. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Simply means people are leaving Nigeria. Health practitioners, they are leaving. And they are leaving, and their impacts are going to be felt in another 2-3 years. Because the measurement, the kind of the survey covered 5 years, that if the trend continues, so many health centers are going to just have to shut down in Nigeria. Seriously, this is not even limited to just government establishment. We are talking about private too, but government. In Lagos State, where they are making so much money, billions. Oh dear. Baba, the last 10 months, a section of health workers in Lagos State have not been paid salaries. Some of them have not been paid their gratuities. Majority of them have found a way and they have jackpot out of Nigeria. To the point that about 5 wards have been shut down at this center. I'll show you the report. IIT covered that.
It was a tour of health facilities across Lagos State by members of the House of Representatives Committee on Health. Their findings at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, was quite discouraging.
We saw the laudable project that LUTH has been embarking on since those years. However, we also saw significant problems here. Right now, there are about 5 wards in LUTH, totaling about 150 beds that have been shut down because there are no nurses and doctors to man those wards. We will work together with the federal government and with also with the teaching hospital to find a way out of this national embarrassment. It's not something that can be fixed in one day, but nevertheless, we are going to be approaching it piecemeal.
This syndrome also goes beyond the teaching and tertiary hospitals. Please also put emphasis on state government and local government. There are cases that ordinarily should not appear in the teaching hospital, and we are seeing them. It is because of lack of facilities and personnel at those local government level.
The 61-year-old public health institution received a large number of patients on a daily basis. After the COVID-19 pandemic, it was upgraded with modern facilities, which is one of the reasons for mass exodus of healthcare professionals abroad. Yet, the desired results seem far from being achieved due to the worsening brain drain.
The truth of the matter is that LUTH of 2015 is not the same LUTH of 2023. I agree that we can be better than this because we have about 220 million Nigerians to take care of.
The House committee members left with a promise to double efforts to halt the Japa syndrome, while calling for collaboration of all players in this sector to change the narratives.
Japa syndrome. Everyone is living. Professionals are living. Because how do you do it? A professor in Nigeria University is earning between 400 and 500,000 naira every month. And that is just about let's say 500,000. That's like 7 million naira. Oh, sorry, 6 million naira in a year. And a senator is taking home 480 million in a year. Professor takes home. Doctor is being paid I don't know if they actually have doctors they pay 1 million, but I'm going to use that and say doctors are being paid between 700 and 1 million naira. That one was like, it's like you don't know what you are talking about. Which doctor is collecting 1 million naira in Nigeria? So there are those there are some specialists that get paid good money too. But anyway, doctors are being paid 500,000, 6 million naira in a year. A House of Representative member is going on with over 410 million naira in a year. 160 million naira car. Another 50 million naira to maintain his wardrobe, his furniture, and all those things that they give to him. So in a single year, a senator is going on with over 600 million naira. One person. House of Representative member, one person is going on with, right, over 400, to 500 million naira in a year. Now, you see those ones we are saying getting 6 million, they won't still get paid. They will never get paid. So people started living in thousands. Listen, tens of thousands. Professionals, healthcare practitioners, all of them. Now, the criminal politicians who enjoy building blocks. One second.
In the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. Kese la nri lowo, makasakasa timbo. A dollar was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now a dollar is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. So the tone say falafulu. Ogba salary ikilawa. Igberaga week. or gbéra rẹ̀ sánlẹ̀ láìpẹ́. Eat little and save more. Ayé tá ń jẹ chicken kọ́ la wà yìí mọ́. Ayé shawarma kọ́ mọ́. Ayé ice cream kọ́. Mú gààrí. Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Gbàgbé táwọn doctors sọ pé kò ní nutritional value. Kí ló fẹ́ nutritional value pẹ̀lú kíní? Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Mú gààrí. Orí ẹja.
That is the life they expect people to live, the one they expect them to endure while they watch all these criminals. Fritter away the money, treat themselves to the best of the best. So those who had the chance, they left. Some of them are watching me right now. Yeah. 2 years ago, some of them are holding the stethoscope. What do you call it? Is that called a stethoscope, Abi? And in their gown, doing the round in their different practice, whether it is government or private. Today, they are doing the round in America. Some of them are doing the round right now in hospitals in Canada. Some are doing that in NHS in the UK right now. They now realize that as a health worker, they could actually get paid good money, so good money that they are even blaming themselves. Why didn't they have left all this while? Why did they wait this long? Some of them are now enduring harsh weathers. They don't give a damn. Because what they now stand to actually really benefit, the impact they actually really wish to benefit, they to make, and then being appreciated for their work all their lives. They've never been treated that way. Because these criminals don't give a damn about them. They want to build blocks. We are commissioning this 1,000-bed hospital. We be say they no go put anything inside. Those who are going to work in there are never going to be paid. And then, the rest of you who need health care, health is wealthy. You are left on your own. So those are the kind of things you should always have in mind. And this is where I'm going to close it tonight. And that is the message of this Honorable Uche again. Thank you.
Being one of the junior defense lawyers for Sarowiwo, and throughout, Sarowiwo argued against for non-violence. Nigeria has no respect for people who argue for non-violence. They simply hung him. After Ken was killed, it wasn't long, I became lawyer to Atikito, militant leader. You shoot him, he will shoot you back. And at the end of the day, when the Yaradua wanted to negotiate with Atikito, they sent a presidential jet. And the presidential jet carried him and I and his militants that we sat and negotiated. The only thing Nigeria respects today is militancy. Capacity to fight and defend for yourself. All this thing Wisey is talking, mobilize, campaign, waste of time. The militants in the Niger Delta today are effectively nominating people as commissioners, governors, legislators, ministers, all over the place. So if anybody tells you that you can continue to function the way you're doing and be thinking that you cannot, let me tell you the truth. Chagoury's message is far more resonates with the masses than that of Peter. But Chagoury no get money now. That's the truth. That's the truth. So let us face it. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are angry, but they are not sufficiently angry. They will soon get sufficiently angry. Amen. And I am saying that before they get sufficiently angry, the judges that are manipulating the judicial process are doing what they should do. That is what they know to do. The politicians who are rigging elections are doing what they should do. That is what they understand to do. The INEC officials who are collaborating, people like Prof and all the rest of them, are doing what they will do. You know, the only people who are not doing what they should do are the masses who are suffering, who are victims. I subscribe to the masses understanding that you will never get justice from the legislature. Never. You will never get justice from the executive. Never, ever. You will never get justice from the judiciary. You will get justice through your organization and your capacity and the courage to receive by every means necessary. It is not a moral question. It is not a moral question. If you ever think it's a moral question, you want to march on the street and they will now drive you away, you're wasting your time. You must be prepared to resist them by every means necessary. Thank you very much.
And on that note, we'll call it a night. Thank you so much for being part of this again tonight. We won't take calls. I will another time. But don't leave this broadcast without liking it as well. That is your offering. Show that you are here. Like the broadcast. Subscribe onto my channel. I will see you some other time. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.